What's up, everyone? This is Christian Duke, and you're watching Iron Mag TV, Episode 7, brought to you courtesy of IronMagLabs.com. And we're back, guys. Don't forget to go to IronMagLabs.com, use discount code IML15. It'll save you 15% off site-wide. Today we're going to talk about a lot of things. We're going to once again talk about now the fabled almost tips from Rick, the best of from Iron Mag TV. On Sunday, Rick's family made just a really powerful video. Wrestlers were on it, bodybuilders were on it, family members were on it, clips from his past was on it, and it was just such a beautiful piece that, I spoke to Robert DiMaggio, the owner of Iron Mag Labs, and our whole team, and the best of tips from Rick is a fantastic production, spanning the run of the shows, some really cool, clips. And we have our graphic designer who made a fantastic, beautiful cover for it. But I don't want it to come out on the coattails of the tribute from the family, and especially did not want it to come out at the same day or the day after, because that would look extremely inappropriate. And so right now it's an important time to be as, tactful as possible. Rick was a superstar, not only in bodybuilding, but also in wrestling, in acting, in coaching, commentary. I mean, this guy, did it all. And he was a direct driving force and inspiration to Rich Piana, who, listen, guys, I've come to the realization, because, Iron Mag TV is also a commentary show, and I've come to the realization that there are people that didn't like Rich Piana, and the fact that they don't like him now that he's passed over 3 years, it means they probably didn't like him very much when he was alive. And that's okay. We are all created differently. We all like some people, don't like other people. I totally understand. But you cannot, you can do whatever you want, but I mean, you really cannot deny the impact that Piana had on the bodybuilding world. And what's very interesting and what's very powerful, in this empire that Rich created with 5% and Love It, Kill It, with Good Morning and God Damn It, and the Ben and Jerry's and the Chipotle. He didn't call it Chipotle, he called it Chipotle or Chipotle. Everything he created, those gallons of milk that were empty that you get them for like 25 cents, he sell them for like $10. All of that, none of that would have happened without Rick Drazen. So it's just eye-opening that here's a guy who trained with Arnold, designed the Gold's Gym logo, designed the World Gym logo, was a wrestler, a bodybuilder, a movie star, and yet fast forward it to 2013, 2012, 2013, 2014, which is really, I would say 2013, 2014 is when, Rich just like shot up. And that was all because, not all because, but that was directly because of Rick Drazen. And those initial shows that Rich Piana did at Rick's Corner. Now, Tips from Rick was Rick's show on Iron Mag TV. It had a short run. Rick's Corner, on the other hand, is the show that catapulted Rick to superstardom on social media. Now, an interesting fact that you guys may not know, and you will see on the Best of Tips from Rick, which will come out at some point from Iron Mag TV, more than likely this week, is that the same set that Rick used for Tips from Rick, the same set that he used for Rick's Corner, he used for Tips from Rick. And what's also very cool about the show is that Rick wore an Iron Mag Labs t-shirt. So you cannot say, I mean, he had a bona fide show with Iron Mag TV. So now we're going to jump over, and again, we're 4 minutes into episode 7. You know what? Who cares? Rick Drazen was a driving force in Iron Mag TV. We loved him very much. We didn't renew him simply because he had other projects. He was involved with a lot of things. At the time, he was writing an ebook, or he had just written the ebook Bodybuilding for Dumbbells, which is a huge ebook that he put out. And I think he was involved with a lot of different projects, and Tips from Rick was kind of like something that, he enjoyed doing, but he kind of put it on hiatus. It is what it is, With regards to the theme of the show, I guess you will, the headline of the show, isn't really a news topic, but it's more so a commentary one. And it deals with the fact that Nick Walker, who won the NPC North American Championships, is going to be doing his pro debut. Now, a lot of people would say, wait a year and a half, 2 years, grow into the pro ranks. But shit, I mean, Nick doesn't have much more growing to do. This guy's a monster. And a lot of people are making the comparison between him and Dallas McCarver. So, and it's a comparison that I think it holds water. I think it's a legitimate comparison. He's only 26 years old. Dallas was also very young. I think Dallas might have been younger than that, but relatively they're both very, very young. They pack on a lot of size. They work with a coach in common. And, anyways, but the question is, Big Ramy needs an Olympia qualification. He took third place at the Arnold Classic, but that's not going to get him to the big dance. It's not nearly enough points. And, he didn't do Tampa. He didn't do New York. He may do the Europe show, but he may also do the Chicago Pro. What happens if he does the Chicago Pro, and here's Big Ramy, veteran of the stage, as high as second place at the Olympia, third place at the Arnold Classic, multi-New York Pro winner, facing off a kid who's, the ink isn't even dry on his pro card yet, but who's an absolute phenom. And, Nick Walker is going to look a lot better on stage, no offense, than Hunter Labrada did in Tampa. Hunter looked fantastic, but Hunter was also up against some competitors that were a little bit off, and it also opened a little bit of a window for him there. But Nick Walker is looked amazing in Pittsburgh and is going to look even more amazing from the pictures we're seeing come Chicago. Big Ramy, on the other hand, might be going into the Chicago Pro, leaving some gas in the tank for, of course, the Olympia, which is what he ultimately wants to shine his brightest at, but may come into Chicago at 80, 85%, maybe 90% against a 100% young, hungry, driven Nick Walker. How does that pan out? I mean, if my gosh, if Ramy, was unable to beat Nick Walker even at 80, 85%, could you imagine what that would do to his, I don't know. I don't know. If he took a second to Nick Walker, then he would have to do the Europe show. I can't imagine. I don't know if you guys can. I'm also going to be writing an article for ironmagazine.com, so hopefully the article will come out tomorrow. But I can't imagine that, Big Ramy is not a competitor that likes to do multiple shows a year. He shocked the world by doing the Arnold Classic. He was supposed to do the Arnold Classic in 2019, in 2019, and he bailed because he said he had an injury. And then we didn't see him in 2019. He didn't do the Arnold. He didn't do Tampa that year, which was the year Dexter Jackson won. And of course, he didn't do the Olympia because he wasn't qualified. And then in 2020, everybody was thinking, well, this guy's never done an Arnold Classic before. He's saying he's going to do it, but there's that poster of Ramy and Sean Roden. Obviously, Sean Roden couldn't do it because of his legal problems, or legal troubles, I should say. Problems, troubles, all the same. And so people just assumed, well, if Roden's not going to do it, I mean, Ramy may not do it either. That poster got pulled very quickly, and that also raised some concerns. It got pulled because of Sean's legal problems, not so much because of Ramy not doing it, but people, warriors as they are, automatically assumed that was why, that neither one was going to do it. So when he did it, he looked really good. The problem is I don't think he was anticipating William the Conqueror Bonnack and Dexter the Blade Jackson to be there. If he wasn't, I don't know, he probably should have done more reading online, because both of those guys made no secret they were doing the show. But those were two guys that you just don't show up and just beat. Now, it was his first show with Chad Nichols, and Chad Nichols, of course, the coach behind Ronnie Coleman and many others, but primarily Ronnie Coleman. A lot of people thought, well, if he got behind Ronnie, now he's behind Ramy. So he got behind Ronnie, now he's behind Ramy. Ramy sound pretty similar. But they did great. They did a great job. Third place at the Arnold Classic is nothing to, nothing to be sad about. But he's not going to win it. He didn't win the show, and third place doesn't get you enough points to qualify to the Olympia. So now Ramy is not only going to be doing 2 shows this year, he's going to be potentially doing 3 if he does Chicago and then the Olympia. Question is, can Ramy do that many shows? Can a human being do them? Yes. Will he? I don't know. And what will he look like? Like I said, if he goes into Chicago and he's dragging some ass and he's not 100% there, who knows? Maybe Nick Walker doesn't want to do the Olympia. Maybe his goal is to go do his pro debut and then, go to the drawing boards and wait a year to do the Olympia. Maybe that's his plan. I don't know. But if Nick Walker goes into Chicago, guns blazing, 100%, ripped to the bone, vascular, posing like 4 or 5 times a day, just eating, sleeping, and breathing Chicago pro, and here comes Ramy looking for an easy qualification for the big dance, there's a possibility that Nick Walker beats Big Ramy, in which case the entire bodybuilding world would come undone. It would come undone. So, I don't know. It's an interesting situation. It's very, very interesting. Big Ramy also, has the size, and the size is his calling card. But Nick Walker, he's a pretty big dude too. And again, we're not dealing with a guy who's got, extraordinarily good anything. I mean, no offense to Big Ramy, but does he have amazing, quad sweeps? Does he have amazing horseshoes in his triceps? Does he have an exceptionally impressive midsection? Does he have an incredibly impressive back, like a Kai Green back, a Ronnie Coleman back, a Joel Stubbs back? Does he have any body part that just pops out at you? No. What he has is a lot of size, and when he comes in really good condition, it creates a very impressive package. But for him to come in off for an easy win against a kid who, is just, just on the way up, hungry as can be, that's a bad place for Ramy to be. So then the question becomes, does Chad prep him 100% for Chicago? Well, if he does, can Ramy bounce back, in what, 2 months for the Olympia and arguably go to the Olympia with the hopes of winning the Olympia? I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. And I like Big Ramy. Nicest guy there is. But we're not talking about nice. We're talking about bodybuilding. Can he do it? I don't know. Can Nick Walker beat the Egyptian phenom? At 100%, I would say no. But if Ramy's going in there for an easy win, I think Nick's going to tell him what time it is. Hope you enjoyed this episode of Iron Mag TV, episode 7, brought to you courtesy of IronMagLabs.com. Make your mark with Iron Mag Labs. Use discount code IML15 and save 15% off your purchase at IronMagLabs.com site-wide. And also, be sure to check out IronMagazine.com, where I write 10 articles a month, and the great Matt Week writes 10 articles a month. You don't want to miss IronMagazine.com.